Welcome back. In this lesson, we will explore built-in functions in Perl. Perl provides a rich set of predefined functions for handling strings, numbers, arrays, and more. Mastering these functions will help you to write efficient and concise code. So let's dive in. First of thing, what are built-in functions? So built-in functions are predefined subroutines in Perl that perform a common operation without requiring additional cost. So we have few categories of built-in functions. So I'll write here. We can say a string functions and inside string functions for text manipulation, and then we can say we have numeric functions. Then we have third, I'll say array and list functions. Then we have file handling functions. Then I'll say we have time and date functions, and so on. We can have many different use cases. So let's see first with a string. And although we have seen these things in the string topic that we have seen in the previous video, that we have, let's say, some function, we can use length function and so on. So I'll just copy it and paste it here. So let's say this is our method. I'll say one variable. So we have this variable where, and we wanted to check the length. So we can directly use length function. It can tell us the total number of characters available in this particular variable. So to run it, I'll say Perl built-in function, and here we get var 10. So we have instead of print, I'll say, so that we don't need to write new line again and again. Let's run it. 10. So total character available in this particular variable is 10. Similarly, we can have other thing. For example, we have used, that is in a string, that lowercase, uppercase, right? You can see we have lowercase, uppercase, you see first. So these all functions will come under built-in function. I'll simply paste it and we'll run it. So you can see we have a small uppercase, lowercase, and then we have first letter capital, second, and then first letter lowercase. These things we can use. We have also seen substring, we have index function, and so on. We can use multiple different functions that is available for a string, which is inbuilt functions. Second thing that we can check is numeric functions. So Perl has built-in functions to handle mathematical operations easily. For example, let's say if we want to um, convert any number to integer, in that case what we use int function. So I'll just write here, instead of print, I'll say int. We have int, and let's say if you pass some value which is not integer, in that case it will just convert it and print it in integer format. So you can see we get output 5. So int 5.9, it will return as 5. Similarly, we have random functions. So I'll say random, rand, and here you can pass the number. So what exactly it means, that we want any random number between 0 to 10. So if I'll run now again, you can see we get some number, some numeric value here, but it will be between 1 to 10 only. And if you want it in integer, then you can write on top of that, you can again put int, so you will get actual whole number from that. So you can see we get 8. Let's run again, we get 7, we get 2, and so on you will get. So these all are numeric functions. We have a square root. If you want to get generate the square root, you can use sqrt function, and inside this you can just write value and you will get a square root of 25, which is 5. So from that you will get the value. And so we have many different inbuilt functions available to handle numeric operations. You can just see the documentation and you will get many more from there. Next thing that we can see is array and list. So for the array, let's declare here one variable. I'll say my at the rate, let's say I'll say fruits equal to, and then we can say here we have apple, and then we'll say we have banana, right? In this particular array we can just use push function, push inbuilt function, and we can use here at the rate fruits because we wanted to push inside this. And I'll say, let's say cherry. So now cherry will be available inside this fruit, and if you just print here, I'll say just print at the rate fruits. So let's check, and we can see we have apple, banana, cherry. These all things will be available, right? So this is how we can directly write inside it. If we want, we can put it in double quote and we'll add /n for the new line. Similarly, we have a pop method to remove element, shift, unshift if we want to add element in the beginning, or if you want to delete element from the beginning, we can use shift and unshift. And similarly, we have unshift. We can also use short function. So suppose if I'll use print, and here I'll say short, and inside this function short I'll try to pass here directly, let me see, at the rate fruits. So if you see it is doing like that way, let's just cut from here and add in this way, and we'll try to check if it's sorting or not. So now we have banana, apple, cherry. So now in final output we can see apple, banana, cherry. That means this sort function is sorting properly. Even since this is function, so if I'll do like this way, it should also work in that way. So it's printing that. And if you put just inside double quote and /n, so output will be like this way. So I'll short banana, right? So we can, right, in this case we have to just store it first in other variable and then we have to print it, then it will be printed. So like this way we can have multiple different inbuilt functions. Similarly, we can use file handling, and using that we can also, so in file handling we have open, print, close, right? So that way you can do that. So suppose if you want to write file or read data line by line, then what you can do is that, let me try here. So I'll say open, and inside that you have to use a function. So I'll say dollar my dollar, and then I'll say file handling. This is one variable. Then we have to use this symbol to open the file, and after that we can say the file name that we wanted to get output from there. So if you want to read the file, so you have to just put here file name output.txt. We will see that thing later. And or I'll say if we have any error, then we can say or die with some message, right? So here I'll say cannot, let me put it in double quote, cannot open file. And this way you can just open file, and then using th we can say while, and here my dollar line, I'll say less than, and here we have to just write the dollar file handling. So this way it will start reading data from here, and then after that you can just print $line, and after performing all things we can just say close $fh. So this way we can use where we, if you see, right, we have open function, we have close function, right, we have other functions like th, right, print, these all are inbuilt functions. So right now it's saying can't open file because this file is not available, so it will not be able to read. So let's say instead of that, if I'll say a string.pl, let me check if it will work or not. So you can see inside the string.pl, whatever lines of code we have written, it's now printing all those lines. So we are able to read data from that file. Now another thing is that we can also use, let me just comment it, we can also use time and date function, which is very useful. So for example, we have time function to get the current timestamp. I'll say and time, just write time semicolon. It should print time. You can see it's printing time in this format. I'll say /n. So you can see it's printing time in numeric format, right? Number seconds since 19, number of seconds since 1970. And if we want format in local, then we have to use something called, let's say a scalar. We need to convert into a scalar, and then we can say local time. Let's try. Now you can see it's returning in this format. And what about if I'll just say time? It's still printing that way. So we have time and then local time. So in local time, it will return exactly the time that is happening right now with the local timestamp. So now you know how to use built-in functions. In next lesson, we will explore the other topics. That is, we'll see a scope and variables in this subroutines, how we can use that. Thank you so much.